Over 500 years, the world has called it the Gulf of Mexico. But did you ever stop to wonder why? This body of water didn't start with that name. Before maps, before colonies, before war, it was the lifeblood of entire civilizations. Thousands of years ago, the Olmecs, the Maya, and the Aztecs ruled these lands. The Gulf was their highway, their supermarket, their battlefield. The Maya called it Chujcab, the Great Blue Sea. They weren't just fishermen, they were navigators, traders, astronomers. They studied the waves, mapped the tides, and even predicted hurricanes. The Aztecs, they had another name for it, Huastecapan. To them, the Gulf was a war zone. Their warriors raided coastal cities using the sea to expand their empire. But then came the Spanish. 1519, Hernán Cortés stands at the helm of his flagship, staring at the horizon. The Gulf of Mexico stretches before him, a vast, untamed sea. Behind him, a fleet of 600 men, 16 horses, and 11 ships, a force destined to destroy an empire. Cortés didn't come to trade, he came to conquer. The Aztecs watched in terror as Spanish ships cut through their sacred waters. Soon, their empire would fall, but the name Mexico would live on. The Spanish marked their maps, El Golfo de Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico, a name meant to honor the empire they had just destroyed. And once it was written on maps, history never let it go. Fast forward 300 years. The Spanish are gone. The British, the French, and a new nation, America, all want a piece of the Gulf. 1803, the Louisiana Purchase, the U.S. buys a massive chunk of land from France, gaining its first real stake in the Gulf. But the biggest blow came in 1848, the end of the Mexican-American War. Mexico lost half its territory to the U.S., including lands touching the Gulf. The U.S. didn't own the Gulf, but it controlled the most powerful ports, trade routes, and naval forces within it. From that moment on, the Gulf of Mexico wasn't just Mexico's Gulf anymore. And now, in 2025, the U.S. wants to make that official. It started as a rumor, then came Executive Order 14,172. In January 2025, the U.S. officially renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. The reasoning, to honor American maritime power. Mexico called it an act of imperialism. Cuba outright rejected the change. Even the International Hydrographic Organization, the group that standardizes sea names, refuses to recognize it. But here's the thing, it might not matter. Google Maps, Apple Maps, even U.S. schools have already started removing Gulf of Mexico from their maps. Once a name disappears, it doesn't come back easily. Names aren't just words, they're history. They tell who came before us and who won. For 500 years, it's been the Gulf of Mexico, but now, the U.S. is trying to rewrite that. What do you think? Should it stay the Gulf of Mexico, or is it time to call it the Gulf of America? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you love hidden history, subscribe for more.